Meet Kwon Daegun, the new transfer student at Jiryong High and a professional problem solver. His resume? Let's just say it's stacked. After transferring in, he's been cleaning house, one floor boss at a time. From the first years, all the way to the second year's Sacred Bloodline crew, and even the legendary for Heavenly Kings. They've all been checked off the list. So, who's next on the chopping block? The next target is none other than the apex of Jumryong High, Baek Soo-hyuk. A friend rushes over with the news. That guy Daegun, he wants to beat you and take over the whole school. Soo-hyuk frowns, confused. And the reason is? The friend just sighs, defeated. That's the problem. I have no idea what his intentions are. Don't worry, whatever his intentions are, he's no match for you, Soo-hyuk. The friend tries to reassure, but his voice trails off. And then, a calm voice cuts through the night. On the way back home, he was waiting for a fight. It's Daegun. The friend jumps out of his skin. Wait. The fact that you're here, perfectly fine, means you took care of that guy in an instant. We exchange a few blows, but I couldn't finish it, Daegun states flatly. His friend's eyes nearly pop out of his head. How is that possible? It's not like it's a competition. Why waste time? Daegun's expression turns serious. Even to me, he is strong, enough to pose a threat. Those words hit like a lightning bolt, and our boy's legs give out from under him. A threat? To you, Soo-hyuk? The friend mutters in disbelief. Daegun explains, if we had more time, who knows what would have happened. But Soo-ji, with her sick body, was waiting for me. I couldn't keep dealing with him. He pauses, then gives the order. That's why, tomorrow, please take care of Soo-ji while I'm away. Tomorrow. Don't tell me you're going to school. His friend shouts, completely floored. Daegun lets out a confident smirk. I'm thinking about confirming it with my own eyes. What he's doing in Jumryong High, and whether he's a risk to Soo-ji or not. The next day, his friend walks the streets, mind still reeling. To think that Soo-hyuk is actually going to school, he knew what his mission was. My mission is to take care of her and block her from going to school. He thinks to himself, clenching his jaw. That's right, it must have been because there wasn't enough time. If there was enough time, that bastard Kwon Daegun would have been destroyed by Soo-hyuk. Meanwhile, the atmosphere at Jumryong High has gotten weird. The legendary king, Baek Soo-hyuk, actually showed up to school today. Students whisper amongst themselves. Is that really Baek Soo-hyuk? With his hair down, he's not that scary. Usually, his eyes are terrifying. They say if you make eye contact, you reflexively look at the sky. The entire campus is thick with a mix of awe and anxiety. Daegun's crew is panicking too. He won't just send us to heaven for no reason, right? The redhead is frantically making calls. Is it because of Daegun? Damn it, Daegun's not answering his phone. Meanwhile, the blonde is having flashbacks to a previous traumatic encounter. No way, not again like last time. He's gonna make me a Buddha? And right on cue, a figure appears at the end of the hall. The footsteps are steady, powerful, each one landing like a drumbeat on everyone's heart. Kwon Daegun has arrived. Hands in his pockets, face in a motionless mask, his cold eyes sweep across the hallway. The students part for him like the Red Sea, terrified. Silence follows in his wake. Students peek from behind doors, barely daring to breathe. What is he doing? It's like when a king comes to a village and inspects the people. Daegun just walks, his presence alone enough to make the very air in the school freeze solid. A girl runs frantically down the hall. Daegun doesn't even raise his voice. Don't make a fuss in the hallway. The girl freezes in her tracks. She makes it to the rooftop, only to find the door locked. The rooftop? I guess they locked it. It seems everything in this school operates under some kind of invisible rule. Suddenly, Daegun pins her against the wall. The girl is a mix of shock and anger. So, why did you suddenly come without contacting me? Her question is loaded with frustration and hurt. Clearly, their relationship isn't as simple as designated bully and regular student. Do you know how hard it was for me alone? The girl demands, before quickly shifting to a prideful pout. I guess I can endure it because I have charisma. Daegun ignores her bravado, sits down silently, and asks one cold question. Where is he? Meanwhile, another player enters the game. A man named Park Hee-jun, who seems to be the puppet master behind all this. He sends a condescending command over the phone. The two of you can't fight without my permission. Daegun stares at his phone, eyes sharp, a cold sneer in his thoughts. Park Hee-jun, the moment Baek Soo-hyuk and I fight, I'm sure you'd love to see it in person. Daegun thinks to himself, in that case, the location doesn't necessarily have to be the underground fighting arena. Elsewhere, Park Hee-jun stands confidently before Baek Soo-hyuk's bed, looking down at the resting figure with a cold smirk. He would have no choice but to contact me, though. This guy just oozes control. Park Hee-jun muses with contempt as he gets himself ready. But Baek Soo-hyuk's voice seems to echo in his mind. He's just barely holding on. Contrary to the dumb image that you play, in fact, you are more than anybody else. This memory hints at a complex past between the two. That's why what you need most now is, Soo-hyuk had told him, to be yourself. Those words seem to have struck a chord with Park Hee-jun. He straightens his suit, his gaze hardening. This man, is he a friend or an enemy? This guy is clearly bad news. A girl tries to sneak a peek at his phone, and he ruthlessly grabs her by the hair and slams her to the ground. Who said you could look? His tone is ice-cold, violent, and dripping with a need for control. The call connects. Let's meet up and talk. A chilling, playful smile creeps onto his face. I was waiting for this. The time and place, everything is set. A grand show is about to begin. The weather is also good. All is good. He pulls out a packet containing a single blue capsule, teasing the two girls beside him like they're pets. Is there someone that wants it? But what should I do? It's only enough for one person. Before the words are even out, the two girls are at each other's throats for the prize. And he just smiles, enjoying the thrill of pulling their strings. Elsewhere, Baek Soo-hyuk is dealing with his own internal affairs. A girl with pigtails argues her case vehemently. I did a good job. You said not to interfere with the first year's fight, so I just stayed quiet. She stomps her foot in frustration. As for the second-year students, well, it happened so fast I couldn't stop it, but hey. After that, I went up to him and harshly scolded him. Okay, what about the four heavenly kings? Baek Soo-hyuk cuts her off coldly. Because our guys messed with him first. Besides, it's not like you had any interest in school business. You only came here after hearing rumors about your sister. The girl freezes. You don't know about the rumors? She blushes instantly, remembering the gossip floating around. Kwon Daegun and Baek Soo-ji alone on the bed. Meanwhile, a black sedan is parked at a street corner. A man in a black suit leans against it, his expression grim. He seems to be waiting for something, but when he opens the small blue box in his hand, it's empty. It's all finished already? That, senior. Someone asked from inside the car. We waited for quite a while. Was there a mistake with the location and time? Let's just wait more, the man says calmly. Inside the car, a woman with glasses is on the phone, her tone serious. I'm on standby at the location you mentioned. How did you get this information? Her eyes drift to the man outside, filled with suspicion. That guy is definitely. The plot thickens, and at the school gate, Kwon Daegun approaches, his steps steady. Good. Now that Park Hee-jun is distracted, there won't be any more interruptions. But as soon as he steps onto campus, he sees a girl helping up an injured student, exclaiming in surprise, "Note damage." Looks like things weren't exactly peaceful in his absence. If it's not about your sister, then isn't there no reason for you to fight? A girl asks Baek Soo-hyuk. He answers calmly. The current Jimryong High School is in danger. Your friends, the four heavenly kings, they are fighting for your peace. His words are heavy with the burden of responsibility. I had to protect the peace of Jimryong High, the peace that was sustained by working together. He looks at the confused girl and continues. And that guy, he's trying to pull it all out by the roots. The girl clutches her head, distressed. I don't understand what you're trying to say. He gently places a hand on her head, his tone soft but firm. You just have to live your life in peace, just like you do now. His gaze is resolute, as if he's already made up his mind. A storm is about to break over Jimryong High. Looks like he finally showed up. The moment Kwon Daegun steps onto the field, all eyes are on him. Daegun. Even Kwon Daegun came. His friends are a mix of shock and worry. Is he going to fight with Baek Soo-hyuk? Did you make a promise to fight him or something? The entire school holds its breath, waiting for the battle of the century. Kwon Daegun stands in the center of the field, hands in his pockets, his stoic face betraying no emotion. On the rooftop of a distant school building, another figure watches. The air is thick with tension, a battle about to erupt. He turns slightly, clenching his right fist, muscles tensing. This man was born to fight. If you ask him to come up in such a small voice, do you think he'll hear? Besides, Daegun might not even want to. A friend is still trying to reason it out, but Daegun simply says no. There's not a shred of hesitation in his eyes. Kwon Daegun will definitely answer the challenge, because he will become the new king of Jimryong High. But the path to the throne is always blocked by obstacles. A group of students stands in his way. You can't go up past here, they yell, desperately trying to stop the inevitable showdown. To Kwon Daegun, however, this is all just meaningless noise. On the field, Baek Soo-hyuk has been waiting. He walks forward, hands in his pockets, completely at ease. Everyone holds their breath. No one wants to miss this big battle that will decide the leader of Jimryong High. Daegun watches his opponent approach, a slight smirk playing on his lips as he says just one thing. You came. The two titans finally meet. An era is about to end, and another is about to begin. The history of Jimryong High will be written by this fight. Elsewhere, the friend tasked with watching Suji is a nervous wreck. Soo Hyok should be meeting Kwon Daegun right about now, right? He remembers Soo Hyok's assessment of Daegun. He is strong, enough to pose a threat. The words eat at him. Kwon Daegun's strength, which I wanted to deny until the very end, was acknowledged by Soo Hyok himself. Shit, even when he fought 20 or 30 students from other schools, even when he went to destroy a gangster organization, those kinds of words never came out of Soo Hyok's mouth. The more he thinks, the more he panics, barely able to control himself. I can't just wait and watch a dangerous situation like this. No, I can't even watch. Damn it. He almost screams, then quickly claps a hand over his mouth. Phew. I almost made a loud noise while Suji was sleeping. If she's just going to be sleeping peacefully, can't I just go to school for a little while? He's still debating when a sudden scream comes from the room. Soya Savek. She's covered in a cold sweat, her eyes wide with terror. Why are those two fighting all of a sudden? News of the showdown spreads like a virus across the entire region. Every school, every faction gets the insane intel at the same time. Soo Hyok is fighting right now. And it's a mutiny. It's Jimryong High's grand battle. The entire underground world is shaking. All the players start making their moves. A bald, hulking figure's eyes turn savage when he gets the news. Back on the field at Jimryong High, Soo Hyok and Kwon Daegun are officially facing off. This fight is no longer just about the two of them. This is my first time seeing Soo Hyok properly. What's up with his body? Is he really a high school student? The spectators are in awe. Looking at the stats, the 192 centimeters, 118 kilograms Soo Hyok completely dominates the 188 centimeters, 88 kilograms Kwon Daegun in height, weight, and reach. This is a true heavyweight showdown. Even Daegun's friends are divided. The blonde bets on Kwon Daegun. He has something beyond skills. But Glass's bro argues back, discussing physical superiority, skill, etc. That's only in the realm of humans. And I'll bet on Soo Hyok, who is in the realm of superhumans. Glass's bro says with conviction. He glares at the blonde. You traitorous bastard. Aren't you on Daegun's side? The blonde just scoffs. I never said whose side I was on. Fighting isn't something that's judged by emotions. That's right, superior stats naturally lead to superior physical strength. However, the outcome of a fight isn't decided by physical advantages alone. The reason Soo Hyok is called a superhuman isn't just because of his physique and strength. The fight begins. Soo Hyok looks down on Daegun, demanding an answer. Kwon Daegun, why did you come to Jimryong High and mess everything up? Daegun looks annoyed. Mess things up? This place was a mess before I got here. I'm just cleaning up the disgusting bugs. Soo Hyok explains the order he built, a system where the strong collect protection money to maintain peace. He compares this system to a spider's web, with himself as the spider clearing out pests to keep the campus calm on the surface. He argues that this system, while archaic, is the only way to maintain peace at Jimryong High. Without him, the spider, all sorts of flies would swarm the place. He challenges Daegun. You got rid of the bugs, but do you have an alternative plan? Daegun scoffs at this twisted logic. Your so-called protection exists only in your imagination. He straightens his tie, his voice like ice. You can't protect anyone with just words. If you just fight and win yourself, wouldn't that be enough? Is it worth it? The words barely leave his mouth before Daegun moves. He's a blur of motion, a single heavy punch, sending Soo Hyok staggering back. The war of words is over. Now it's time for fists to do the talking. Soo Hyok lives up to his superhuman title. His power is enough to tear through the air, but what doesn't match his massive frame is his speed. Fast, impossibly fast. And yet, with sheer combat instinct, Daegun manages to dodge the attack by brute force. This isn't just a contest of strength anymore. It's a tactical battle of exploiting power gaps. Soo Hyok's judgment, his use of his own body, it all proves why he's called a superhuman. He keeps up a relentless assault, giving Daegun no room to breathe. Our boy is completely on the defensive. The crowd is stunned. What's with that guy? He's way too excited. Why isn't Daegun counterattacking? The redhead is sweating bullets. Is there a possibility that he can't? Facing Soo Hyok's overwhelming power and speed, just avoiding the hits seems to be Daegun's limit. Soo Hyok presses his advantage, and Daegun keeps falling back. What are you doing? Soo Hyok demands, almost disappointed in Daegun's performance. But Daegun's eyes remain calm. Isn't this different from before? What are you even talking about? A sense of unease creeps over Soo-hyuk. Why aren't you immersed yet? Daegun's words are like a sharp knife, hitting their mark. And in that instant, Daegun seizes the fleeting opportunity, landing a crushing blow right on Soo-hyuk's face. An effective hit. 1, 2, 3. The tables have turned in an instant. The unstoppable Baek Soo-hyuk is now completely powerless against Daegun's ferocious, storm-like assault. Daegun looks down at the fallen Soo-hyuk, his voice chilling. What are you even trying to do? Do you not have the will to fight anymore? He leans in, whispering in Soo-hyuk's ear. Immerse yourself, because this is boring. The ultimate provocation. The ultimate confidence. Daegun's assault continues. Every punch, every kick, precise and deadly. His companions are completely dumbfounded. How did this happen? The reversal was so fast, they can't even process it. Are you the one who doesn't want to fight? Daegun asks again. He recalls a past conversation. Have you ever been so immersed in something that you lost track of time? Immersion is something that happens without you knowing, like a switch you can't control. But if there was such a switch, and you could immerse yourself freely, aren't you curious about how much potential you could unleash? Why on earth do you have to immerse yourself? There is only one reason for immersion. Daegun's eyes grow distant. It's necessary when facing an opponent bigger and stronger than oneself. That's right. The reason he wasn't immersed was because he never considered Baek Soo-hyuk to be a stronger opponent. For him, his current level is more than enough. And on another front, a story involving Suji unfolds. Some punks from another school are harassing her at the school gate, their words dripping with malice. What are you going to do if your dear Appa loses his fight? They corner her, leaving her with no escape. But they picked on the wrong girl. Suji is no damsel in distress. Pushed to her limit, she unleashes a vicious roundhouse kick, sending one of the punks flying. One Jawook? The other punk exclaims. The bald, hulking man from before has appeared, standing protectively in front of Suji. We'll handle things here, he tells the punks. This is one Jawook of the middle path, an absolute powerhouse. What? Are you really saying you're going to war? The punks bluster, trying to sound tough. One Jawook just scoffs as if looking at a bunch of clowns. Bestowing mercy is the right of the strong. Taking care of pitiful creatures is also my duty. He advances, each step radiating immense pressure. Back in the present, Daegun's assault rages on. Every blow is devastatingly powerful. Baek Soo-hyuk is completely overwhelmed, able to do nothing but take the punishment. The outcome of this fight seems to be a foregone conclusion. This fight will end by my will. Daegun's eyes are like chips of ice. His fists are the law. Baek Soo-hyuk's friends watch in horror. They know that if this continues, their leader might actually die. But just then, something changes in Baek Soo-hyuk. The reason vanishes from his eyes, replaced by pure, primal instinct. Is he finally getting immersed? His body is wreathed in black smoke, and a terrifying aura, far greater than before, explodes from him. Appa, something is strange. Suji screams from above, but Baek Soo-hyuk can no longer hear her. The reason for his sudden immersion is singular. The determination to protect his younger sister. An observer murmurs, that's the reason for his immersion. Once immersed, Baek Soo-hyuk becomes a true beast. His attacks lose all form, but they're filled with destructive power. Every punch, every kick carries the intent to kill. Now, it's Daegun's turn to be on the back foot. To face Baek Soo-hyuk, who has the reach advantage, Kwon Daegun must dig into his range. But unlike before, Baek Soo-hyuk is in an immersed state. He must break through that dangerous zone where not even a single hit is allowed. The observers analyze the situation coldly. But if it's Kwon Daegun, he just might be able to do it. Trading blows, taking damage to give damage. He forces his way inside Soo-hyuk's guard and unleashes a furious close-quarters barrage. A memory surfaces. Once before, Soo-hyuk went berserk because of his sister, falling into this same crazed, immersed state. Back then, it took 4 people working together just to subdue him, and all of them were seriously injured. In this state, he has no breaks. His determination to protect his sister has turned him into a relentless fighting machine. But this time, he's facing Kwon Daegun, a man who is also fighting to protect. The chain-link fence buckles under the impact. Suji covers her mouth in horror. If he takes one more hit like that, it'll be dangerous. Daegun seizes his chance, knocking Soo-hyuk to the ground with a powerful punch. The observers break it down. Each person immerses in different parts. Baek Soo-hyuk's immersion comes from a single-minded desire to protect his sister, an explosive power that makes him abandon all reason. This kind of immersion is like a beast's chasing the opponent to the ends of the earth, trying to bite their nape. In Kwon Daegun's immersion, that is the most ideal form of immersion. In Daegun's memory, there was a similar scene. A girl screaming OPPA in terror, and him running through a downpour, fighting to protect her. He had once told that girl, "As long as we're together, I'll always protect you." That promise is carved into his very being, the reason he fights. After the fight, he stands alone outside a convenience store, lighting a cigarette. Rain begins to fall, washing over the bruises and exhaustion on his face. Just then, a friend comes stumbling over. Something terrible has happened. Baek Soo-hyuk at Jumryong High. In the pouring rain, Baek Soo-hyuk lies on the ground, battered and unconscious. The undefeated legend of Jumryong High has finally fallen. Soo-hyuk's defeat marks the end of an era. Daegun stands in the rain, looking at his fallen opponent, and at the reflection of the boy who once made a promise to a girl. His gaze is unwavering. "Don't worry," he seems to say to everyone and no one. "I'll protect you." A new king has been born. Every king's rise is built on the ashes of an old era. But behind the glory, there's always an origin story nobody talks about. And this one, it starts long before any throne. Back when our boy wasn't an undefeated legend, just a brother trying to buy his little sister some fried chicken. Sunset by the train tracks, where the air tastes like cheap dust. His little sister, Soo-ji, is hungry, begging to go home for dinner. For them, home is a shaky concept, and mom is a ghost who's sometimes awake, sometimes not. But on this particular day, the smell of dinner isn't what greets them. It's a stranger, a man shoving their food into his mouth. "Who are you?" Daegun instinctively pulls his sister behind him. The air freezes. The man looks up, his eyes greasy with a condescending smirk. And then their mom appears from the kitchen, dropping a casual bombshell. "Say hi," she says. "This is the person who'll be your new dad." New dad? The words hang in the air like a bad smell. The dinner table turns into a minefield of awkwardness. The man tries to act friendly. Their mom pushes them to just sit and eat. Like this is all perfectly normal. "So you finally snaps." "Not hungry," she screams, running out the door. Daegun follows without a second thought, leaving the man and their mother to dismiss it as the girl just being shy. But they don't get it. This isn't shyness. It's a rebellion etched into their bones. On the steps under the night sky, Soo-ji finally breaks down. "A new dad again? How many is this? At this rate, I'll have 100 dads." Her voice is a mix of tears and razor-sharp anger. "Don't you feel anything, Appa?" Daegun is silent. What did he feel? Powerless. It's not because she's lonely. Soo-ji's words hit him right in the gut. It's because of the money. Because mom doesn't work. Because we're poor. That's why we keep having these ugly new dads. Her accusation shatters the fragile peace her brother was trying to keep. Daegun knows. Of course he knows. He wants to fix everything. But reality is a wall he can't seem to break through. His sister needs new clothes, but all their mom says is, there's no money. Poverty is the heaviest chain around their necks. And then, the man, the so-called new dad, starts playing his game. The only game he knows. Money. He offers Soo-ji cash for new clothes. She thanks him innocently, but their mom cuts in from the bed, her voice cold. "Don't call him uncle. You should call him dad." She can't bring herself to say it. The man plays it cool, patting her head and saying, "It's all right, she'll come around." The moment he leaves, Soo-ji runs back inside, happy with her prize. Only Daegun watches, his eyes cold, seeing the whole pathetic show for what it is. But that little bit of manufactured happiness is ripped away in an instant. Their mother snatches the money from Soo-ji's hands, claiming a kid doesn't need that much. His sister's cries are like needles in Daegun's heart. He lowers his head, but there's an unmistakable frost in his eyes. From that day on, he started working like a man possessed, handing out flyers, taking the dirtiest jobs. He's going to drag his sister out of this hellhole with his own 2 hands. "I'll stick it in the neighborhoods that the trains pass through." His voice is calm, but it carries a brutal determination far beyond his years. He runs through the night, sweat and resolve mixing on his skin. Every flyer he slaps onto a wall is a silent declaration of war against a world that has left him powerless. When he finally drags his exhausted body home, he finds the uncle packing his bags. "Where's your mom?" The man just grumbles, complaining that she's run off again, abandoning her own kids. Fueled by alcohol, the man starts spewing venom at Daegun, mocking their mother and trying to kick him out. But our boy just stares him down, his words colder than the cheap booze on the man's breath. Just as things are about to explode, the man pulls his old trick, dangling money like a lure. "Soo-ji, you don't need any pocket money." The word money is a trigger, and Soo-ji comes running from her room. This family is so rotten. Cash is the only language left. Daegun leaves to search for his mother, only to run into a different kind of predator. A man in a suit, glasses glinting, taunts him with an all-knowing tone. You probably can't find her. His words are dripping with contempt for their broken family. Who are you? Do you know my mom? Daegun asks, his guard up. The man just chuckles, hinting at some shady financial dealings with his mother, and then lands the final blow. They say motherly love is amazing. Isn't that just like that? Humiliated and furious, Daegun returns home. And what does he find? The uncle, enjoying a drink, buying his sister's compliance with cash. This house isn't a home anymore. It's a marketplace. He hands her the bills, and she bows her head to say thanks. Good girl. You should say thank you, uncle. The scene is sickening, a disgusting display of power and control. He's not giving her a gift. He's making a purchase. Suji gets the money and tries to leave, but the man stops her. I told you to sit. The smile vanishes, replaced by something ugly and terrifying. Why? The man's control completely shatters. He starts screaming about all the money he's given their mother, how she won't even sit with him. Call me OPPA. He roars, his face contorting into a mask of pure desperation and rage. Call me OPPA. His disguise is gone, ripped away to reveal the filthy desire beneath. It was never about being a dad. It was about a twisted, sick kind of ownership. If you don't want to treat me like a dad, go ahead and do that, because I like it better if I don't treat you like a daughter too. And then came the violence. He grabs Suji by the hair, cursing how she looks just like her mother. Her screams echo through the empty house. OPPA. Yes, that's the sound. The man laughs, a sick, twisted sound. And just when he thinks he's won, a shadow descends. It's the explosion of long-suppressed rage, the instinct to protect. It's the moment the beast is finally uncaged. Boom. One punch. Clean, brutal, final. The man flies across the room like a ragdoll. Daegun stands there, his eyes as cold as a Siberian winter. He doesn't say a word, but his fist just said everything that needed to be said. The fight began, but this wasn't a fight. It was an execution. Every punch, every kick from Daegun carried the weight of hellfire. The man's adult physique, the source of his pride, was utterly useless. You ungrateful monster. I fed you. The man tries to play the victim card. Daegun just looks at him coldly. Treated us like people. I've seen and heard things, especially whenever you drink. Rage had blinded Daegun, but it also gave him limitless strength. He was like a cornered beast, defending his last remaining territory with the purest, most primal form of violence. The man finally retreats, spitting curses as he runs. Suji rushes to her brother's side, worried. But inside Daegun, something had just changed. Permanently. He carries his sister through the streets, one thought echoing in his mind. As long as I'm around, I'll protect you. He didn't know what the future held, but he knew one thing for sure. He would never let anyone hurt her again. But trouble has a way of finding you. The man came back, stinking of booze and resentment, demanding to know where their mother was, screaming about the money she owed him. The argument quickly escalated into violence. The man throws a punch, knocking Daegun to the ground. In that moment, it wasn't pain he felt. It was a tidal wave of pure, unadulterated rage. But then, the bastard crossed a line he could never uncross. He hit Suji. Shut up, he yelled, striking her across the face. And with that single act, he blew up the final dam, holding back Daegun's fury. The beast was fully awake now. This wasn't self-defense anymore. This was a hunt. Like a bolt of black lightning, he tore the man apart. His taunts were cold and calculated, twisting the knife with every word. Oh, would that bitch come back if I break both your arms and legs and send you to a hospital? He knew exactly where to strike to cause the most damage. And all of this brutal display was being watched. From the corner, two men in black suits observed. Oh, there's something fun going on over there. One of them commented with keen interest. They weren't here to stop it. They were here to scout. The situation devolved into a chaotic brawl. But Daegun was a tireless killing machine. Anyone who got close was mercilessly taken down. The suited man stopped his partner. Wait, he said, taking off his sunglasses, his eyes sharp. Let's see how it unfolds. He wasn't seeing a street fight. He was seeing raw, unpolished talent, a natural-born weapon. He dismantled his opponents with an almost artistic brutality. A sweep kick, a heavy punch. Every single move was precise and devastating. There was no fear in his eyes, only pure, cold rage. He slammed his opponent's head into the pavement, asserting his absolute dominance. Blood sprayed, bones cracked. The man in the suit was mesmerized. He knew, right then and there, that he had found the one they were looking for. A beast hunts for survival. A voice echoed in his mind. They will be the one hunted. Daegun wasn't just fighting. He was hunting. The beast inside him was finally, truly awake. The fight was over. Rain poured down, washing away the blood and the exhaustion. He panted, breathless, and for the first time, he realized what he was. He was a beast. He protected her with violence, so as not to be the one hunted. And in doing so, he became a hunter himself. It was all decided the moment he first tasted blood. Memories flooded back. The day his mother left, he found his secret stash of money was gone too. That house, along with his last sliver of hope, had completely crumbled. Those same men in suits showed up again. They were there to evict them, telling them to be out by next week. They came to collect the house, and to collect him. That guy you beat up earlier, he won't be able to work. How are you going to make up for that? The man gave him two choices. You can either pay me with money or with your body. It was an offer he couldn't refuse. And so, Daegun started working for this mysterious organization. He collected debts with his fists, solving problems that couldn't see the light of day. Every mission was a baptism by blood. To the boss of the organization, he was nothing more than a tool. An obedient, useful tool that could be discarded at any moment. And the boss? He enjoyed the show like a spectator at a gladiatorial match. He handed over the blood money he'd earned, but then asked to keep working for them. I could do a good job. Please let me work. He knew that only by becoming stronger could he truly protect his sister. The organization gave him a temporary place to stay and a new assignment. His life had just taken a turn down a one-way street with no exit. He remembered what blood tasted like. The taste he thought would be bitter was actually sweet, because behind that taste was the first time he had protected someone important with his own strength. This was his way of life, trading violence for peace, protecting his family with his fists. And now, the educational foundation had found him, offering him a much bigger stage. How old are you? You don't go to school? The foundation's director, a man with a thick beard, asked casually. It wasn't concern. It was an assessment. He was sizing up his new weapon. Since you've decided to solve things with force, you can't be half-assed about it. The director began to indoctrinate him with the organization's philosophy, like some kind of twisted mentor. They didn't just want a fighter. They wanted an agent of their will. What they saw in him, what they valued, was that untamed wildness in his eyes. You, man, you're pretty useful. That casual comment was the highest praise a beast like him could receive. He traded violence for payment, and payment for his sister's smile. It was his perfect logical loop. Peace only comes after war, the director told him, but only for those that have the strength. He bought his sister that fried chicken. Seeing her happy face, Daegun felt a sense of peace for the first time. This temporary tranquility, earned with his fists, was everything to him. He no longer had to worry about what to do. What he could do right now was clear: show his strength in the most primal way possible, to earn a reward through strength, to bring peace through violence. This twisted philosophy became his code. For him, dealing with more violence was the only answer. Just as suppression brings resistance, violence also brings about more violence. They sent him back to school, a bigger, more complex battlefield. Here he would act as the Foundation's bully in charge, tasked with suppressing all the other bullies, to break the chain of violence with absolute, overwhelming strength. But was this philosophy really foolproof? He thought he had found the answer, but in that fight in the rain, he saw his own uncertainty. He saw Baek Suyeok fall, and he felt his own conviction waver. There's something you've missed, he tells himself. Violence can bring peace, but what comes after? He was just a tool, an answer that could be replaced. And now, it seems another answer has emerged. He's being sent to a new place. The Foundation man tells him it might be a place more fitting for him. Not to him right now, but your true self, the self that is a beast. Forget everything you've learned here, the man orders. But Daegun's reply is defiant. I have no intention of forgetting anything. Everything he's been through, the pain and the violence, it's all been carved into his very soul. He knows the path of violence is a never-ending cycle, but he has no other choice. To obtain that peace only the strong can possess, he must keep fighting until he stands at the very top. The flashback ends, but the cold rain of reality continues to fall. He stands on the battlefield of Jumryong High, suppressing Baek Suyeok with absolute strength. He's not enjoying the violence. He's confirming if his answer is the right one. He calmly takes the hits, only to return them with even more ferocious power. This isn't an even match. This is a one-sided beatdown. He's using this victory to prove his path is the only path. Every attack from Baek Suyeok is effortlessly neutralized. The onlookers are horrified. They can't understand why the fight is so overwhelmingly one-sided. Someone figures it out. He's letting him hit him on purpose. Daegun is using his own body to gauge his opponent's limits, to analyze his instincts. This isn't a brawl. It's a dissection. Once his analysis is complete, the counterattack begins. He holds nothing back now. Every punch lands with the force of a thunderclap, completely overwhelming Baek Suyeok. Kwon Daegun. Baek Suyeok whispers the name from the ground. He lost, utterly and completely. He finally understands that he was facing a beast of the same kind as himself. "You're the same kind as me," Daegun says, looking down at him, delivering the final verdict. He didn't just want to fight. He found someone who might actually understand him. The fight is over, but the chain of violence continues. The Foundation's people take Baek Suyeok away, while Daegun is set to face his next challenge. Meanwhile, the alliance between Bangwon Technical High and Jumryong High has shattered. A new storm is brewing in the shadows. On another side of the school, a new act of bullying is taking place, and the agents of the Foundation are quietly arriving on the scene. "The Bully for Bullies project, you've completed it," the woman from the Foundation tells him in the car. "You've worked hard." For him, those words are both an end and a new beginning. Meanwhile, a mysterious blonde kid is racing on his scooter, searching for Big Brother Daegun. He's heard the rumors and is heading to Taejun to find out the truth for himself. Little does he know, the person he's looking for is currently riding his other bike, using its black box camera to track him down. Elsewhere, an organization known as the Mud Club is furious over Baek Suyeok's defeat. They see it as a stain on their honor and are preparing for revenge. In the hospital, Baek Suyeok opens up. He acknowledges Daegun's strength and entrusts the protection of Jumryong High to him. And Daegun, he has arrived at a new battlefield, a secret underground facility, an organization codenamed the Eraser, in a brand new test. He's been told he needs to warm up. His opponent is a monster of scars and muscle, a member of the Eraser, enhanced by drugs. "If the drugs have already kicked in, then we should start right away," Daegun says, the old fire of battle igniting in his eyes. But the test results are unexpected. The seemingly powerful opponent is nothing before Daegun. In a single instant, the fight is over. Is that it? You call this a test? Even the spectators are confused, but they don't know this is just the beginning. A far more dangerous game is about to start. The Mud Club has dispatched their erasers to hunt down Kwon Daegun. Daegun is sent to Incheon. There, he will face the full might of the Mud Club's assassins, all by himself. A new storm is coming.